Hello everybody, it's me, Farham. We're here with a build guide for Path of Exile 2, bringing in my final build guide for the Danger Close Deadeye, playing with Stormlance and maxing out Trinity to kill Pinnacle bosses in under 3 seconds, while also having a slight skill tree variant that gives us almost 60% movement speed in maps, and in fact you could get it up to 65 pretty easily. So this build can kill bosses, it can run maps, do everything. It's not the tankiest build, but I wouldn't say it's a glass cannon either. There are full written guides in the description of this video, both Path of Building link and a link to Mobalytics as well. I'm going to start hosting my guides there going forwards, so do check those out if you want to see the written guides. But let's get straight on into this and have a look at this passive tree. So I'm going to cover it in the context of bossing in the Mobalytics build guide and the PoB link. There will be variants for mapping as well. Basically just drop some of the DPS we don't need, a bunch of movement speed. Starting off, we're Deadeye Ascendancies, making the most out of the frenzy charges for the spear skills, so going up avidity and thrilling chase. We want to grab endless munitions as well. This allows us to fire extra projectiles on Stormlance, which is our boss killing ability. It really speeds things up. Coming into the tree, we grab movement speed into movement speed. We come down, we go to the low life nodes. We're doing a low life build, so that you will see the tree is aimed at basically two things: getting as much shock magnitude as we can and 100% crit chance. Other than that, everything's basically on defenses and these low life nodes. So we grab the low life nodes, crit bonus. We've got a time loss sapphire here. It shows incorrectly on the build guide, but it's also upgraded to medium. This gives us crit chance, crit damage, and ailments. They are the 3 highest damage nodes you're going to get on a time loss sapphire. These things are pretty pricey. It's what puts the build into quite high budget. But because of that, we are taking as many nodes as we can around here. We actually have escape velocity and stand and deliver signed from our megalomaniac. Again, that doesn't show properly on the build guide, but that's how we're getting those 2 points there. Grab Maiming Strike, mostly for the 2% movement speed, but also because Maim is nice. Frazzled, because shock magnitude. There's 70% shock magnitude here. That's 14% more DPS. It's really, really, really big. Next up, we come around, grab out the spear skills. We've got a Dance with Death from nothing, allowing us to assign Precise Point, Roll and Strike, Focus Thrust, and Acceleration without any of the adjoining points, saving us a total of 7 points there. Taking Falcon Dive, going through the crit route, we needed the extra crit chance, and the extra accuracy helps us ensure we break evasion mobs without too much problem. With some of our spare points, we've come to take Tainted Strike, again, more magnitude down there, as well as more critical hit chance. Ultimately, this allowed us to drop the nodes up here around Careful Assassin, which hurts our crit damage bonus. As we go up the tree, we grab another Time Lost Sapphire. This one's pretty good. It's got the crit damage bonus. Could be better. You don't need medium up here either as well. If you're playing this build, you can do this without the medium and get a jewel that looks more like this one if you've got the budget for it. It'll give you a lot more damage. Essentially just filling out this crit diamond here. Grab Throat Seeker. We grab Eternal Youth for our defenses, and we grab Spectral Ward. Then we come up and grab the other crit nodes, grabbing True Strike for the Jugular and Deadly Force. You'll notice there's a couple of extra crit nodes associated here. 2 crit chance. Check your own crit damage, your own crit chance, and if you need to reassign nodes like the crit bonus to more crit chance, or even unassign crit chance and assign to crit bonus, check that out. Just go into your skills. If it says 100% chance for twice critical hit, then you're all good. Then you can mess around with those nodes and see if you can put them somewhere else. For the emerald, you can. There's choices here. You've got 1 spare slot for a jewel. I went for an all damage one. You can go for one that gives you 2% life and mana on kill. It helps a bit with mapping if that's what you like, but this gives you a lot more damage for bossing, so one like that's going to be good. Finally, at the top of the tree, we end with Patient Barrier and Ingenuity, just to give us a nice sort of 4,300 effective hit pool and stop us getting one shot if we accidentally go into maps on this build. Going into maps on this build is fine. So if you want to see the mapping variant in the build guide, but that's the tree. 100% crit. Get your accuracy up. Focus on some low life nodes. Should mention as well, as of patch H, you can now anoint Finality, so we have anointed that for the 120% damage here. That's why we've swapped to the Dance with Death from nothing, away from the one that was previously on Unwavering Stance. Alright, let's jump in and have a quick chat about the gear. I will quickly show the mapping variant before we jump onto the gear. So we unassign Frazzled, these 2 life nodes, all of Throat Seeker, 3 nodes down to Deadly Force, these 2 extra crit nodes, and the critical chance node here, and the 25 intellect up from Ingenuity. This gives us 17 skill points back. With these, we can basically go round, grab Kite Runner for 3% movement speed. We can then grab Shimmering for another 3% movement speed. Keep grabbing in on all of these. We grab Step Like Mist for another 4% movement speed. These last 2 points for some tank. This gives us about an extra 500 on the EHP, taking us up to about 4,700, and it gives us a lot more movement speed as well. But that's what you do if you really want to run the mapping build and get that extra 10% movement speed. It is nice if you're running maps, right? Going faster is the main thing. But as we get onto the gear, I know what you're thinking. Oh, wow. He's not using Chicken Hand or that Tangle Tongue. No, I'm sorry. I got some skin swaps. There is a Tangle Tongue and it is a Sacred Flame. I'm sorry. But let's talk about this gear. The most important part of the gear, in fact, there's two really, really important parts. The Tangle Tongue, which you want to have crit chance of around 28% if you want to get to 100% crit chance with the tree we've got now. If you've got less than that, you will need to take more crit nodes. But the other Kringle you want to be looking for, because damage is sought after basically everywhere. You want cringled up physical damage if you can. This is going to be pretty expensive. For the helmet, you need the Teepus Tower. This is so we can run all those low life nodes. This really boosts the damage of Tangle Tongue a lot. For your scepter, you want a Sacred Flame. If you can get one with cringled up fire damage, that's going to be the best, but then you need to manage the spirit requirements. The spirit requirements on this build are 244. Because we've got a cringled spirit, corrupted spirit here, we've managed to drop all spirit requirements from our amulet. On your amulet, you want to be going for energy shield, and you want to be going for prod skills. If you can get crit chance and crit bonus, then that's great, but you'll probably need some attributes here. On the chest, you want resistances, evasion, rating, energy shield. That's what you want, right? It's a chest piece. Gives you defense. On your rings, you want to be looking for triple damage lines, preferably all tier 6 and above. If you can, the higher tier damage lines you can get, the better. You're going to want to making up resistances, and if you can get any stats spare, then you want to be focusing on intelligence. That's to boost up what we're getting from the Hand of Wisdom in action. Here, really, you want Kringle Corrupted lightning damage. That's the best. On your boots, you want 35% movement speed, as much resistance as you can, as much energy shield as you can. If you can fit in more intelligence, that's great. All of this intelligence, by the way, can be swapped to rarity if you wanted to run more rarity. I normally run with a rarity bot, so it's fine. That's why there's no rarity on the gear. And on the belt, by the time you've got to flat damage rings, the best belt you can run, even though it's been nerfed to hell, is Ingenuity. Get one with Kringle Corrupted left and right rings, that's fine, but honestly it doesn't make that much difference, so just get a cheap 30 or cheaper, like 28 would be fine, something like that, if you wanted to run that on a bit of a budget, and that really does boost up the flat damage you get from the rings. That's the gear, really. On your charms, I like to take Stunned and Bleeding. Bleeding sucks now, especially with this much life pool. And then I switch out this charm depending on what's going on or what we're doing. Sometimes I run the Chaos one. But that's the gear. It's pretty pricey at this point. It's not cheap to get it running and killing bosses this speed, but if you have to cheap out on some parts, all you'll see is a slight drop in boss kill speed. You might have to dodge a mechanic. Right then, let's cover off the skills before we showcase this. So it's Lightning Spear and Storm Lance. Ooh, Lightning Spear, well, it's so unique and original, but the Storm Lance bit's kind of cool. Anyway, Lightning Spear, we're running it reasonably standard, apart from we're running Gamble Shot instead of Fork. Sometimes it does different things. It makes the screen look pretty. I like it. You can run this or Fork. It doesn't matter. Volt. Volt's really good. Volt becomes really good as long as you make sure you've got 30 stacks before you actually throw your spear. It's very powerful. Innovate, Martial Tempo, and Mobility. I like to, when we're mapping, it's nice to keep running a bit faster when you're throwing the spears. So, next up we got Orb of Storms. This is basically our rage support. I've got Blind in it, but you don't need that. I was previously using support gem. I've forgotten the name now. That gives you 15% more crit chance and crit bonus against blinded enemies. But it's nice to have the enemies blinded. They hit you less. If they even get to act at all. But its main thing is running as Font of Rage. On bosses, you can get up to 20-30 rage before the boss starts. So, nice to have that. Next up, we got our boss killing ability. This is Storm Lance. This has got Execute in it. This is the enemies are always on low life. Primal Armament for more elemental damage. Overextend for more critical damage bonus. Close Combat for more attack damage when we're standing on top of the bosses. We always stand on top of the bosses. And Deliberation for even more damage. It doesn't matter about the movement speed. We're standing still on top of the bosses. So it's more. They're the big multipliers. More multipliers on top of all the increases. So that's how we're scaling up our Storm Lance there. On Cast on Crit, there's been some significant changes here. And this is specifically to support Trinity. We're running Sniper's Mark here with Ingenuity and Profusion. We could arguably run it like that. And it would be fine. In fact, I don't know how much it matters. Let's move them around. Fine. Right. So, running cast on crit. Sniper's Mark, Fusion and Ingenuity, and then Bone Cage with Arbiter. What does this do? This makes Bone Cage only deal cold damage. It still does some physical damage as well, but it mostly only deals cold damage, which is the highest elemental damage type, meaning we proc cold for Trinity so we can get to the 250, and it does actually work. Works particularly well on Arbiter, struggles a bit on other bosses. But on Arbiter, with the damage build-up, you just see all the Trinity rise up. It's pretty awesome. So we're using Bone Cage there now as well to support Trinity. We've got Wind Dancer with Unbreakable and Precision. I believe the Unbreakable only works while you're doing the cast, and you don't really need this. But the Precision is important to make sure we've got enough accuracy to break evasion mobs. Next up, we have Blasphemy, Combat Frenzy, and Herald of Thunder. And you'll notice that these are currently off. So you turn these on for mapping. Combat Frenzy and Herald of Thunder don't work on bosses anyway. And you don't need to slow down the bosses, you need to kill them faster. So you turn on Trinity, bossing, and you turn on these for mapping. In Blasphemy, we've got Temporal Chains, supported by Magnified Effect, Ritualistic Cursed, and Encumbrance. Combat Frenzy doesn't need anything. Herald of Thunder has Long Shot, Concentrate Effect, Electrocute, Neural Overload, and Lightning Pen. It hits things outside of presence range, so things do not necessarily have 0% lightning resistance when they're being hit by Herald of Thunder, so Lightning Pen seems to work quite well at proliferating out a bit of clear. Then in Trinity, we are running Fire Mastery, Cold Mastery, and Lightning Mastery. This gets us to 7% more elemental damage. If we could get one more level, it'd actually go up to 8%. But we're actually maxing out the Trinity, particularly on the Arbiter fight where it matters. So that, as I said, is using the Bone Cage supported by Arbiter, which is converting all of the extra damage from Sacred Flame into cold damage when we cast that spell. All of this comes together for about 2.5 second boss kill speeds and reasonably satisfying mapping and pretty good group play. Its only real weakness is it's not a glass cannon. It doesn't get one shot by things in maps. It gets one shot if you don't pay attention. It's not a one shot. It get killed if you walk into like 2 Chaos Orbs at once and stuff like that. Sort of things that kill characters. But let's showcase this thing through, and yeah, I hope you enjoy these showcases. And if you do choose to play this build, I really hope you have a good time with it. I will show this off in a map then. So the mapping side of things, you don't need as much damage. There's a tree switch, so when you are checking out the path of building or the Mobalytics, make sure you're either on the bossing or the mapping one. You can use the bossing tree for everything, by the way, but I like to have 10% more move speed for mapping because it's fun. You can also take Tailwind as well if you want, but I just don't bother. And we'll show it off in Val Factory, everybody's favourite map. I hate Val Factory. I'm going to get beaten up by some spinny thing. It's 80% Delirious, by the way. We'll just quickly show the map mods. So, mostly good things, but yeah, players are 80% Delirious. So that's like a 40% damage reduction. I think about what it works out to be. As well as the joys of more Delirious loot. I have still got Trinity on. Don't need Trinity on for mapping. What we do want on is other things. The good showcase. So you can't afford to run all of these spirit things at once. You probably want Combat Frenzy, Blasphemy, Herald of Thunder for clearing maps. Just Herald of Thunder clears out nicely. Look at Breach, how exciting. The Breach drops are pretty good. The way it drops, I mean, there is loot. Not shown. You have to stop attacking things for 4 seconds for your life to come back, which is fine. It's fine. You can just use a life on Killjoy if you want. Personally, don't bother. Oh, moments like now, your life will come back. So it clears reasonably well, as you can see. It just deleted Omniphobia. All new buttons to press. Exciting. Froze me. Scary stuff. Oh well, we got a Balor back. Fantastic. Those give a lot better loot when you're in a party. So do these. Love the doors in Val Factory. They really speed up the process. I love doors in maps like this, in games like this. It's just so good. Love a door. That's why Heist League was so good in XL1. Everyone's favourite league, right? Door League. Shout out to the Heist enjoyers. It's my first ever. There you go. Those maps are okay. Pretty fast. With Wendy you can make it a bit faster. But that's the mapping variant. Even at 80% Deli, as you can see, it just slaughters everything. You don't need any more damage than this, so you can just invest everything into move speed and do them faster. Which is what you want for maps, right? And you can go around and pick up all the splinters and have a great time. I'm not going to make you watch me pick up the splinters. On to the next showcase. Alright, let's go bully Xesht. It's always good for a time check. Something nightmare. It's time. I think we were too close for him to get hit. I need to get to some of the cold resonance. Let's start to build up. Build up better on the Arbiter fight. It makes more of a difference. There we go, Diamond. Damn it. We'll do a quick audience of the King. Triple Trinity. See how this goes. Sure, it'll be fine. We got double Trinity up because we only hit him with one Bone Spear, but that's the thing, it does go quite well with the danger close, but we don't have room to fit any other supports on other than what we've got, so. Oh no, he's going to cast a tornado. Why does he do this? Here. Easy enough. Pretty quick. Another diamond, maybe? Those are not diamonds, it's shoes, isn't it? It's always shoes. Horrible shoes. Showcase this thing. Killing Arbiter with the triple Trinity, with all of the Trinity active. We'll take a nice slow walk down, nice slow descent into the abyss. Got to get that ramp going down slow, you know. Wish this was faster. Right, now if we're really scared, we can cast these, so we build up rage on the way. That. Too late, apparently. I don't think we are. Oh look, Trinity's like basically maxed. I mean, our mana took a bit of a beating. But look at that! Look at that Trinity. Good times. And there you go, Dead Arbiter. Nice and easy. I wonder what he dropped. I suppose I should right. A diamond and a Grand Regalia? A lucky day. Let's see what they are. Terrible. Terrible. Always terrible. Don't run Arbiter for profit. It's rubbish. Unless you run drop Scepters, it's just never worth it. So guys, there's all the showcases. There's the overview of this. As I said, the written guides are in the description of this video, so if you wanted to have a little read more, then check those out. If you've got any questions, stick them in the comments. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you do play this build, I really do hope you enjoy it. I've had a lot of fun putting it together. I hope to catch you in the next video. Have a good one.